In a kingdom nestled among rolling hills and whispering forests, a king ruled with a firm hand and a restless heart. Beside him stood his trusted minister, a man of profound wisdom, whose calm demeanor and insightful words were known far and wide. The minister held a peculiar belief, one he carried like a quiet flame. Everything that happens, no matter how it appears, serves a greater good. This conviction guided him through life's tempests, a steady compass in a world of uncertainty. The king, though wise in his own right, was a man of action, quick to judge and swift to decide. He valued his minister's counsel, but often found the man's unwavering optimism puzzling, even frustrating. One fateful morning, as the king practiced his swordsmanship in the courtyard, a misstep sent his blade slicing through the air, striking his own foot. Blood stained the stone, and a single toe lay severed, a small but searing loss. The pain was sharp, but the humiliation sharper still. The king, limping and furious, turned to his minister expecting sympathy. Instead, the minister, with his characteristic serenity, declared that even this mishap was for the greater good. The king's temper flared like a storm breaking over the hills. How could the loss of a toe, a mark of imperfection on a monarch, be anything but a curse? His pride wounded as much as his body, he deemed the minister's words not just unhelpful, but insulting. In a surge of rage, he ordered the minister thrown into the kingdom's deepest dungeon, a cold, shadowed place where hope rarely lingered. As guards dragged the minister away, he turned back, his face alight with a gentle smile, and repeated his mantra. Everything happens for a reason, and that reason is good. The king, nursing his injury and his grudge, dismissed the minister's words as the ravings of a fool. Life in the palace continued, though the absence of the minister's steady presence left a quiet void. The king's foot healed, but the missing toe remained a constant reminder of his misfortune, a scar on his pride. 2 months later, seeking solace in the thrill of the hunt, the king ventured into the vast forest that bordered his realm. The chase was exhilarating, the wind carrying the scent of pine and freedom. But in his pursuit of a fleeting stag, he strayed too far from his retinue. The forest, once a friend, turned treacherous. He was alone, lost in a maze of ancient trees. From the shadows emerged a tribe, their faces painted with symbols of ritual, their eyes gleaming with intent. They seized the king, binding his wrists with rough cord, and led him to a clearing where a stone altar stood, stained with the memory of offerings past. The tribe believed in appeasing their gods with sacrifice, and a king, regal and strong, seemed a fitting gift. As they prepared him for the rite, their shaman inspected him closely. His gaze fell upon the king's foot where the missing toe left an uneven silhouette. A murmur rippled through the tribe. Their beliefs were strict. Only the flawless could be offered to the divine. A man marred by imperfection was unfit for their sacred purpose. With reluctant hands, they untied the king and set him free, pointing him toward the path home. The king stumbled back to his kingdom, his heart pounding with the weight of his narrow escape. As he crossed the threshold of his palace, the minister's words echoed in his mind, no longer a mockery but a revelation. The loss of his toe, once a source of shame, had been his salvation. Humbled and awestruck, he ordered the minister's immediate release. The dungeon gates creaked open and the minister emerged, his face unchanged, as if the stone walls had been no more confining than a passing cloud. The king, his heart now open, sought to understand the deeper truth. He acknowledged the minister's wisdom, admitting that his injury had indeed served a greater purpose. But a question lingered, heavy with curiosity. If the loss of a toe had saved the king, what good could possibly have come from the minister's imprisonment? 2 months in a dank cell, stripped of freedom and comfort. Where was the good in that? The minister's eyes twinkled with quiet understanding. He explained that had he not been confined, he would have accompanied the king on the hunt, as was his custom. When the tribe captured them, the king's imperfection had spared him, but the minister, whole and unmarred, would have been deemed perfect for their ritual. The dungeon, cold and unforgiving, had been his shield, keeping him from a fate far worse than chains. His imprisonment, like the king's injury, had woven itself into the fabric of a greater good. The king sat in silence, his mind tracing the intricate threads of fate. What had seemed like cruel twists of fortune were, in truth, part of a larger design, one that unfolded beyond the grasp of immediate understanding. The minister's belief, once dismissed as naive, now shone as a beacon of truth. The king began to see the world through new eyes, recognizing that every event, whether draped in joy or cloaked in sorrow, carried a hidden purpose. From that day forward, the king ruled with a lighter heart, less quick to judge the turns of life. When misfortune struck, he paused, remembering the minister's words, and sought the good that might lie beneath the surface. The kingdom flourished under this newfound wisdom, its people inspired by a leader who faced life's uncertainties with courage and trust. The minister, ever humble, continued to serve, his smile a quiet testament to his unshakable faith. The lesson woven into their story spread beyond the palace walls, carried on the winds of time. It whispered to all who would listen, every moment, every loss, every unexpected turn holds a purpose. What appears as hardship may be a gift in disguise, a stepping stone to something greater. To judge an event as good or bad in the moment is to see only half the picture. Life, in its infinite complexity, asks for patience, for faith that every thread, no matter how tangled, weaves toward a deeper meaning. And so the king and his minister, through their trials, taught that to live well is to trust in the unseen good, to walk forward with hope, knowing that all things in time reveal their purpose.